How's it going, guys? Junior Everything Mustangs, bringing back in the video. We got the Cobra here, and then Alex and my brother, as you all know, he owns the Cobra now. Today we're gonna be doing some control arms, got some camber plates, and maybe some other things, but more than likely it's just gonna be the control arms and the camber plates. Reason being is this car is really camber because it's pretty low. It's on iBox springs. And so in order to fix that, we could have gotten camber bolts, but he got custom camber plates, and then we did notice the bushings on the control arms were worn. So we're gonna go ahead and just swap everything at once so we can get it aligned and not have to do it again. So we're gonna go ahead and start this. We're gonna, obviously the car's already here inside. We're gonna go ahead and get started on this. And then the control arms, we just got basic control arms. Custom camber plates, we got Maximum Motorsports control arms, which we'll show here in depth once we start installing it. So stay tuned, follow along.
Music bed.
Alright guys, we got the Cobra jacked up here. Took the wheels off, put the jack stands on the frame, because obviously you can't put them on the jack stand or the control arms because we're going to take those off. So this is where we're going to get started.
Okay, so we're gonna take the control arm. Obviously you have the 2 bolts right here to mount to the cross member, whatever that thing's called. What is that thing called?
K-member.
K-member, yeah. So you have those 2 bolts, and then we have to unbolt the ball joint on the bottom of the spindle here. Since we're doing the caster camber plates, we are going to have to take the shock off the top, so we can take the factory ones off and then put those aftermarket ones on. So I might move the caliper out of the way, take the rotor off so it's out of the way, and then another thing on the bolt on this side, since the bolt has to come all the way out, it hits your rack and pinion. So we're gonna have to loose the rack and pinion and pull it forward, pretty much almost take it all the way out, so we can get those bolts off. So this would be a good time if your rack and pinion is leaking to just swap it out, because you pretty much are gonna have it all the way off. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Once we have everything off, we'll come back and show you guys what we did. But let's get started. Okay, so we went ahead and removed the spindle here. So this is what it looks like. Now when you take this off, I took the castle nut off and then put it back on just slightly below the top of this, and I hit it on top so it would come up. So be careful not to hit, you know, the threads, so that way when you put it back on, it's not messed up. Sometimes you can hit it right here on the side and it just, you know, lets go, but this one wasn't doing it, so that's why I hit on top. Same with the ball joint. I put a pry bar and then I hit it right on top. Now this one I wasn't worried because we're replacing the control arm with the ball joint. But if you were putting the old one back on, just be careful, put the knob back on there. That way you don't mess up the threads. So I did take the speed sensor off of here, that way we don't damage it. And I'm just, I just put it there aside. So this is all on the side. Now this is a good time, you can replace your wheel bearings as well. Pretty much everything's off, sway bar links, anything in here that you need to get to. So I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same. Oh, and the other thing, I took off the shock. The strut, it's just the one nut on top, so it just comes out. We're gonna take the 3 nuts here on top off to take the factory caster camber plate off. And there's a little rivet that you have to drill out, and all that comes off, and then you replace it with the aftermarket one. So I'll have to look at the instructions. We might have to get rid of this bellows here, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then once we do that, we'll loosen up the rack and pinion so we can remove the control arm. Alright, so we got both control arms off. On this car, actually, I loosened up the rack and pinion, but the bolts, actually I was able to pull them off. They're a little tight, but I didn't have to damage anything, so I didn't take off the rack and pinion to get those bolts in. Now the last one I did was the 2004 Mustang, which I don't know if maybe they're placed a little bit different than this one's. That one, there was no way to get them out. So when I do the Saline, which is a 2002, we'll see if they come out. If they don't, that means that the bolts are a little bit in a different spot from the SN95 to the new Edge. Anyways, so that made it easier. We have the control arms off here, so as you can see, I mean, the bushings are really cracked. They were pretty much due. I mean, this was original from 95. So, but the other thing we noticed is this here. I mean, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but so when I bought the car, there was scraping on the passenger side on the skirt.
And
so
curved
I
wheels.
don't know if someone, hydroplaned or whatever you guys call it nowadays, but it might have hit the control arm here on the front and as well as the side. So definitely this was, I mean, you can tell it's bent how it's supposed to be. So I don't know if that made a difference also in your alignment, anything like that, but we're gonna get ready to put the new ones on. Another thing is you have the sway bar links off. At this point, you can replace these if you want to. I mean, you already got them off, so that's a good time, as well as your outer tie rod ends. You just gotta unbolt them right there. You got them off already. So, all those things, think about it, because if your tie rod ends are loose, when you go to align it, the alignment shop might say they can't align it, or they won't give you a warranty because of that. So, if you're doing this, you might want to switch all those things, do it all at once. So we're going to transfer all these to the new control arms and then just reverse the procedure. To get the bolts off here, they're tight, but once you get them off, this control arm slid right off. This one, since it was hit, it was a little tight in there. We had to give a little persuasion here on top, but we'll see. Putting the new one in should be pretty easy, unless that piece here is the actual car piece is bent. Then it's going to be a little tight to get the new one in there. So we'll see what happens there, but let's keep on going. Alright, so now we're installing the caster camber plates. So we already did on the other side, as you can see. We're going to do this side here. You do have to drill a 4th hole on your strut tower brace, because this one has 4 studs. And then you put some of these washers on there. The instructions are pretty good, so it tells you what to do, how to drill that hole. But you get this in here, and hopefully if you drill the hole right, it fits right in. If not, you have to do it a couple times. And then you put your plate in there, which is this way. And then you just gotta get the nuts, so a washer and a nut on each one of these studs. And that's gonna install this part here. And so this is what's going to give you adjustability front and back. And then you get your other plate piece. And this is going to go like so. And then this is going to give you adjustability in and out. So, to put this one on, you do have to put some washers underneath. So a lot of washers on here. And this is done that way, this light's easier when you try to adjust it. If you don't have the washer, it kind of gets stuck. So, and then you put the washers on top and you bolt this on. So we're going to leave this kind of loose like this, put the strut in, and then see what adjustability we have to do once we put the strut in there, and go from there.
Alright guys, so as you can see, everything is put back together. Obviously you just reverse everything, put this shock back in, the spring, all that good stuff. Tighten everything back up, and then the caster camber plates are now they're kind of snug at the moment. We're gonna go ahead and the other wheel I already put on. I just gotta put this wheel back on. We're gonna drop it, see how far the camber is, or the caster, all that good stuff, and then we're gonna try to get it close enough with a tape measure and a level to us where it's not gonna completely be out of whack and rub the tires instantly. That way he can take it over to an alignment shop, get it aligned, probably be, cause today's Saturday, so it'll probably Monday, so it's gonna be a couple days, he's probably be able to drive it. We're gonna try to leave it close enough. So we're gonna go get it aligned, and then he should be all set to go. Other than that, I mean, this is gonna be the end of this video. Next, I know we have a couple of things my brother wants to do to this car that we might film here and there. Which stay tuned for that. So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.